Hi YouTube! So you've decided to play the bass. Good choice. No, a couple of my pals have recently converted to, or given it a shot at playing bass. So very, very basics. Kind of tuned the same as a guitar, or the same as the fat four strings on a guitar. Guitar is an extra two. But it's an octave down. That's if you don't know anything about music, then music kind of goes in cycles. So you get E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E again. They're both the same note, which sounds mental, but it's true. So there's only 12 notes. And on a bass, unlike a guitar where you quite commonly play chords, which are a group of notes together, on a bass you pretty much only ever play one at a time. So really you could pretty much play anything just with one string, and only up to the 12th because it starts. So E open, F first fret, E 12th fret, F 13th fret. That system. So this is my pal Dougie is learning, and he's trying to he's kind of given up on the guitar a bit, which is not really a good idea. You don't want to give up on the guitar, but have a bass as well. In some ways it's easier, in some ways it's harder. He's trying to play the thing that all bass players try and play when you play a bass, because it's not immediately obvious to the non-musician bass player person what the bass is actually doing in lots and lots of songs, whereas something like Money by is very obviously the bass. That's also quite difficult to play because it's actually in funny timing. It doesn't do what you think it does. Naturally, you want to go as in 8 notes, whereas it's actually 7. So it's so the last note is the first note in the next bit, so it's kind of like a wee skip in it. But the thing which I think you should learn to play in the bass, which it seems to do, I think it's the first thing I ever played, is actually I was around at my pal Robert's house, and it's like, Peter, I've got a bass. Oh, what's a bass? Oh, so what do I do with this? And he's like, I played Dazed and Confused, because I've been playing the guitar for 6 months, so I knew how to play Dazed and Confused. Which is a very good one to play because it's got quite a lot of notes in it, but it's not difficult to remember. It's basically open E is the first note, and then on the D string, the third fattest string, I don't know which way they go, is the E the first string? I don't know. But it's E string, A string, D string, G string. So open E, and then on the D string you're going 5, 4, 3, 2. And then on the A string, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now the trick is with this, which is why I think it's a good one, it's really slow and you've got to play it really clean or it doesn't work. So the ability to play something very clean on the bass is much more important. When I say clean, I don't mean without distortion, I mean at the right time and for the right amount of time. Because when all music is hitting the right note at the right time. So on the bass, you've just got to hit it at the right time. It's vitally important. So you've really got to try and get a groove going. And you can see I'm already doing wee things to break it up. John Paul Jones and Led Zeppelin does this, so you hear him going, instead of just going, I'm going sliding up to it. Wee little bits is where the subtleties of the bass playing come in. I'm really just thinking more the important thing is the timing, and this hand, look at the way my hand works here. I mean, okay, I'm using my fingers. There's different ways of doing this, but there's ways of not doing it. So it's really, I've got a hell of a lot of control. because I'm doing. I've just got my hand sitting. I've kind of anchored. Some people anchor it on the pickup. Actually, put your thumb on the pickup. Some basses actually have like the Yamaha RBX has an actual dent there to put your thumb in, because a lot of people play like that. I tend to play kind of with my thumb kind of muting the E string a bit. But that's one of the things as well which you don't, is a vitally important part of playing the bass, but you don't really get lessons on it. It's the muting all the strings that you're not playing. So if I'm playing this one, I'm like, my thumb's quite often stopping that string ringing, and the other fingers behind it, I'm kind of automatically holding them. I'm not actually holding them down, because that would give you a chord. My fingers are there so they don't accidentally ring. And little things, it's just trying to get things clean. If you're going to play with a pick, you want the pick running at roughly 90 degrees to your thumb, and then but see, what I'm doing is, it's the same with my finger. I'm putting the pick on the string and then kind of flicking it. Same with my finger. I am not going. That's very different. So just trying to keep a controlled element to it. If you're, which, I mean, it has its place. There are places you can do that, but in general, no. So you really want to not have limpy, strummy hand. You want it to be solid. So lesson 1, they're going to be about 10 minutes long. So is Dazed and Confused. Slow. There's no point in learning it like this, because that's not the same song. Let it ring, let it ring, let it ring. What you will notice with this is it's not easy to recover from a mistake if you hit one of the notes wrong, because they're so long. I have a problem actually playing this bass. This is my Fernandez Black Sabbath bass. So the song Black Sabbath, if you haven't heard it, then you should have. It's the birth of heavy metal, but it's got a tritone, 3 notes at the start. Which is only 3 notes, so how hard's that? It's the hardest thing I play in the band, because I've got to go. And those notes have to ring, because if I make a mistake, I've got to wait till it starts again before I can play another note. I can't just go, oh, because it's the whole, oh, what happened there? It's actually quite difficult to do that sometimes, to play clean things, but that's all part of being the bass player. Yeah, so the notes you need to know as well are, you need to know the strings are E, A, D, G from the fattest one to tune it, and then you've got, the open E and the open A, and when you play on the dots on the fat string, you get G and A, and if you play on the dots on the thin string, you get C, D, E. Those are the ones you need to remember. Basically, if you know, that's kind of all I know, and then I work out things from there. But that's those notes, practice playing them, the ones with the dots on them. So E, which is the same as E. And I keep bending notes as well, but that's because I'm playing Black Sabbath and these are Butler bends notes. You don't generally bend notes on a bass. Yeah, so the great thing about doing this, rather than knowing where to play the notes, I've been trying to teach this as in trying to tell people it's a C. Oh, what fret's that? Just, it's a C because it doesn't matter. So it's a C. Yeah, okay. But you can play that C. Or you can play that one. Or that one. There's a C is just a C. It doesn't matter whether you're playing it here or playing it here. but generally on the bass, most songs seem to be A, G, and D, E. But again, it's the same as the guitar, but it's more noticeable in the bass. Being able to play lots of notes does not make you a good bass player. Being able to play them smoothly and at a very regular time so that other people can play along with you is what makes a good bass player. See, that all the notes run for a very distinct amount of time. It's not... It's... There goes another Zeppelin one. They're all over the place. There's so many songs that are easy to play in the bass, but if you think of the song, what you're trying to play along with in your head, you'll end up doing all these crazy, slightly different timing things, but not really knowing what it is you're doing. That's how I learned to play. That's how I can play the Sabbath riffs. It's not from musically knowing that that's a quarter note or a fifth note. It's just I know what the song goes like, therefore I can do other stuff that's like that. See, that's very dun dun dun. Whereas that's, I don't know how you notate that or what it's actually doing, but it's very different from... muting, stopping. Right, so that's, there you go, 10 minutes is actually 12 minutes. So lesson one, just enjoy playing the bass, but I always say this on the guitar as well, the important thing, although it sounds completely counterintuitive, I want to play lots of notes, just work on my left hand. No, right hand. Same as guitar, it's how you can tell a good guitarist immediately. As soon as you see someone playing the guitar, it doesn't matter how, if you've not heard them yet, but you see them playing and they're giving it this, it can't be good. They may have managed to modify that and play a song that goes along with crappy strumming, possibly, but being able to actually do different things is vitally important. It's like how little you have to play in the bass, but playing it right. It's not necessarily, I used this as an example before, LA Woman by the Doors. It's actually really difficult to play. It's just, I'm kind of hammering on that note, but it's just an A, but you've got a wee hammer on from the G up the way, but it's just... Trying to get that tempo going and keep it so it doesn't speed up or doesn't slow down is a very, very difficult thing to do. But if someone played that, I'm all over the top at the lead guitar and absolutely loving it. Everyone would love that. Just totally dead. It's just literally one note, but it sounds like it. Very different from, and also be careful of open notes and hitting strings that don't exist. Is not. Don't be taking your fingers miles away from the fingerboard. It is possible to sort of use open strings sometimes, but not very often. It's kind of a rare one. You get a lot with guitarists who kind of go and just hit the strings open between chords, and you're just like, oh God, don't do that. I've been doing that for years. Yeah, I know. It's like the ability to actually listen to what it is you're doing is very important. Maybe doing videos of yourself or recording something, and you'll realise when it goes wrong. And just being super critical of what it is you're doing, because something like LA Woman is that. mean, that's all it is. It's really difficult to do. I mean, technically, same with the Dazed and Confused thing, it's hard to do. It's not it's not a case of, oh, I don't know what notes to play or what strings to hit. No, that bit's easy. It's the being able to do it and coordinating this hand with this hand. So when you hit a note and you hold it down at the same time, and how hard you hit it, you can play it softly. It's very, it's just like that. Just squeaky strap again. So you get the song, but the song's got a quiet verse and then a loud bit for the chorus. Ooh, playing it at different volumes. Or a bit of dynamic in it. One more thing before I go. Talking about some of my favourite things to do in the bass, it's always been my favourite things, is when you're on the bass and you've got all the power, quite a lot of songs start off with a guitar riff, Black Sabbath ones tend to, and then the bass kind of comes in after a couple of bars with the drums sort of thing, and it just gives it so much power. So Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave, one of my favourite songs to play. At the start, I'm kind of hitting the open E to get it going, dun, 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 dun. The guitar's already going, so now the drums. Ha! But that whole first 30 seconds of the song, I'm just going. Is what drives the whole song, and I love it for that. So sometimes the best bits, I mean, nobody else can do that. Nobody else can play Black Sabbath bass. Whenever you see a pub band playing it, it's because I grew up when Black Sabbath have always been my favourite band. But things that I wasn't really aware of what they were doing. I can play that song, but I wasn't really aware that I was building up, playing it slowly, or playing it very staccato at bits, which completely changed the whole tempo of the song and everything, or the whole feel of the song, just by whether you're going or it's a different part. It's the same notes at the same time, and it's a different song. Everyone else could be doing the same, but you've so much more control over it. I just try and enjoy and try and keep maybe tapping your foot is the way to do it. And you don't have to hit all the notes. And it's, again, I was trying to make these 10 minutes long. It's already doing 20 minutes. So recap: Dazed and Confused. Look at my right hand. It doesn't look as cool, but I have to say, playing the bass, the right hand on a guitar, when you're giving it pure da-da, da-da, it looks great, whereas a bass, it kind of always looks like you're not doing anything. And I'm using 2 fingers, or 3 fingers. Flea can use 4. You'll also notice that my right hand, when I'm playing notes, I generally not got one finger on the bass very often. I do sometimes when I'm showing it. I wouldn't be playing like that. I'd be like that, and I'd just have my hand sitting on the strings, not doing anything. Just if I want to play other notes, I've got a kind of chord shape going on there, because and you'll often see me as well playing, say we're playing an E here, I'll maybe play it with that finger, so I've got the note below it, because it's quite often that the note 2 down is the next note. Round on the horizon, no pain, power head of the universe, the call to Odin for a sign. Thor. It's timing is everything. There is a rule of if you look up how to play the bass book, it goes a boom, a boom, a boom, a boom, 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 a boom, a boom, a boom, 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 boom. Which yeah, you can do, but often gap, and the gap is as important as some of the notes. I don't know if I'm actually, if any of this is any use whatsoever. And there's a way, actually, one of my pals said he used to be in a band, he used to have a chart on the wall of the rehearsal studio that showed what all the notes were. And you're like, I never needed that because I know my A, my G and my A, and my C, D, E. And if you want to find more notes, see if you play an octave, which is there's a G, and then you miss out that string, and then play this string, that's the same note. So that's a G as well. Same way. And that's where disco bass. So you're basically just playing the two notes, the octaves, and that note always fits. Whatever you're playing, if you're looking for another note to play the same note but higher up, and then there's ones in the middle. But just concentrate on playing the bass. It's not to be a solo bassist. Obviously, you do get your level 42s and your Primus where it is solo bass, but most of the time you want somebody in the background. AC/DC. Check out Cliff Williams in AC/DC. His work on Highway to Hell is the song. It's like. Living easy, breathe, season ticket on. It just basically gets louder until it gets to the chorus, or whatever the note is. I'm on a highway to hell. Highway to hell. Highway to hell. Highway to hell. I think he's a pick player. Like that, and it's like sometimes that's the way to do it, but you've got to. It's actually really difficult to do that. I mean, I'm making it look easy, but it really is quite difficult to just continually playing. Even there, I'm kind of breaking it up a little bit. Dun 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 dun, hitting every fourth one a bit harder just to divide it up for myself, so I'm not just going do 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 do. See, I've lost count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Only just a slight. on that one. A wee bit louder there, which is making me keep it in 4s. I'm on a highway. Yeah. Play the bass, just play it lots of times and try and find things that you're, even just work things out. The chances are you're right. I mean, there are only 12 notes, so basically, oh, I'm trying to play this song. There's a 1 in 12 chance that note's right. Whatever song it was. And then other ones, kind of, you can make them work. Rock on.